Hello, my name is Norman Morgan. The following is a demonstration of chase and repousse work to create a sterling silver pendant. Chase and repousse is a metalworking art form. It is sort of a combination of drawing and sculpting in metal. Repousse is the raising of the metal from the back, and chasing is defining and adding detail on the front. The project is a dogwood flower pendant. I use the Italian style chase and repousse, which means I start on the back with the repousse and then I turn it over and do the chasing. Now the first step is to create an image to be transferred to the silver so that we don't lose our design. The first step is normally I do a pencil drawing, which I've done here. Now the way I transfer it is using a laser printer or scanner, so I'm going to outline this to make it darker. By being dark, when I scan it, it will put more acetone or more toner on the image. So once we scan this, we will then use acetone and a cotton swab to transfer this to the silver. Okay, we've now made laser copies of our image. I usually make more than one just in case I do something to it or if I want to use the image later. So this is our drawn copy. And we are now going to use the acetone to transfer the image to the silver. Simply take a cotton swab, the acetone dissolves the laser toner and the pressure from the swab transfers it to the silver. Now, once we've done that, we can use a scribe or a rotary tool. I usually use a rotary tool because it's more permanent, but for this one a scribe will be just fine. And I trace the image so that while I'm working on it, I don't lose it. Once we've done that, we're ready to put it in the pitch. Once we warm the pitch up, this is the green pine pitch. It's what I use most of the time. I want to get the metal warmed up as well as the pitch. The closer the metal and the pitch are to the same temperature, the better it'll adhere to the pitch. Pitch holds and supports the metal while I pound on it with hammers, but it's malleable enough to give. Okay, we've allowed the pitch to cool enough so that we can comfortably work on it without burning ourselves. We want it warm or cool enough so that we won't burn ourselves, but we still want it warm enough to be easily malleable. Okay, the first step I take is I line out my design. It sort of assigns the metal to each space and defines it, the image. It also starts the relief on the opposite side. And remember on this is the repousse side. So repousse is the pushing out or raising of the metal from the back. Now, as we go along, we may have to heat this up and re-stick the silver to the pitch so that it stays stuck. We don't want any air bubbles or anything to get behind it, which could cause it to bend too easily or possibly poke a hole into through the metal. We want the metal to be supported. As you can see, this is popped loose. It won't take the metal long to cool down enough to work with because we didn't heat a great deal of pitch. Now the repousse, we're doing a couple of things. Raising the metal, raising the design from the back. We don't necessarily want to raise it exactly the way it's going to be. We want to ensure that we have enough surface area to work with on the front side. And it gives us enough material to sort of sculpt our work on the other side. You notice these leaves are kind of popping out there. Now on the dogwood flower, the portion I'm working on now is not actually a petal, it's called a bract. The flower is actually the portion in the center of the flower. Okay, now that we've annealed it and cleaned it, annealed it by heating it up and quenching it so that we bring it back to dead soft, and cleaned it up, we're going to put it back in the pitch. But in order to do that, we need to fill the back of this up with pitch so that we don't have any air bubbles in it. Now that it's cooled off enough, we're going to go ahead and start chasing.
Well, these things drop and then you can't find them.
Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, the next step is to take it out, saw it out, and put a bail on. Here we have our pendant after we have cut it out, attached the bail, and polished it up. The final steps will be to add patina and polish again to accentuate the